Morning fiber friends, this is Nicole. Welcome back to the Witchin' Knittin' Mama podcast. You can find me on Instagram at witchin_knittin_mama or on Ravelry as Sea Turtle Girl, GRRL, not GIRL. Welcome back. Today we're gonna do the March Roundup. It's a little early, but because we're still in the process of moving, still in the process of renovations, I figured I'd go ahead and get this done since I've got most of my projects, most of my whips to a point where I can show them off right now. So I thought March wasn't going to be a very busy month, but it was. I had a couple of finished objects, a couple stash acquisitions, a couple new states were added to the box, and yeah, it's been a stressful month, but it's been okay. So I'm hoping that April, after we get settled into the new house, we'll have a little bit of a quieter month in April. So let's jump right in. I got my show notes right here beside me. So where do we want to start today? Do we want to start with finished objects? Yeah, let's just start with finished objects. Okay, I only had 3 finished objects for the month of March, and they were all small, but guess what? They were all considered finished objects. So our first one, this is our St. Patrick's Day Grim Grinning Ghosts by Susan Claudino. And this little guy was done on US 3s, and he was done with Bumblebee Acres Farm 4-leaf clover. So that's why he's considered our St. Patrick's Ghost. And I gave him gold eyes, a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. So it's pretty excited about him. I like him. He is living on my work desk right now. So that was the first one. The second one, in order to stash bust, I took what was left of the Grim Grinning Ghost 4-leaf clover DK. That was a DK weight pattern, and I took that DK weight yarn and I made a set of long fingerless mitts. And this was the Friends fingerless mitts by Danny Sunshine on Ravelry. This was a free pattern. Super easy, super basic beginner. Was joking with Sammy and Phoenix, who are good friends of mine in the fiber community, that I can knit fingerless gloves. I can knit 9 inches of fingerless gloves, but I don't want to knit socks. So we had a good laugh about that. This kind of inspired me that yes, I can knit socks. So that might be later this year. But these turned out great. I'm super happy with how they worked. Basically, I took the remaining amount from the ghost and I weighed it, and then I split it in half and made 2 balls, and then I just worked these up to a point where I had about 10 grams left from about here up to do the thumb, the gusset, and the ribbing at the top. So I did have to cut it a little bit short. It only comes up to about my knuckles, which is fine. I don't mind that at all. It's for keeping my arms warm when I'm working, and so that's exactly what I wanted them for. But those are the Friends fingerless mitts by Danny Sunshine, and that gave me 1 skein out. I'm so excited about that. And then I'm gonna put a picture here. Ta-da. This was the Carpenter hat by the Stitchin' Witch, also known as Jen Dollface, and this was actually given to one of my mom friends that I've met through the daycare system. Her name is Kara, and she's fantastic. She kind of makes me feel like I'm not alone in this alt mom world. So I decided to gift this finished object to her. This was done in Professor Plum Tweed DK by Old Soul Fiber Co. Say that 10 times fast. And this yarn was a breeze to work with. It was so soft and so squishy, and the definition on the cables was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. The tweed matched the natural color pom-pom, which I cannot recall where I got that pom-pom from, but it matched perfectly. Like, I had originally talked to Jen and I said, what do you think about me modifying the pattern for a messy bun beanie modification? And she said, absolutely, let me know if you want to write those modifications up and put them in your notes. And so I ended up finding this pom-pom, and I was like, scratch that idea on the messy bun beanie, and it worked. It worked really well. I'm super proud of how well this came out with, and it did take several months to do because those cables, whew, if you're looking for a fun cable project that keeps you engaged, The carpenter hat is one. It is a double cable, I think, and it's intense, but it's really fun to watch these cables work up and kind of crisscross each other. So there's my 3 finished objects. I was able to, I didn't stash out that skein of DK because it is gonna, I think I had roughly 40-ish grams left, 30 to 40 grams. So I'm thinking about doing a ghost on that one. Not 100% sure, but I definitely think I want to add some of that to my 10 stitch twist blanket. So this is, I guess, going into our whips. This is, so far, what I have of the 10 stitch twist blanket. And this is, I don't have, oh, I'm sorry guys, I did not write down the information on this pattern. This is a free pattern on Ravelry. The designer's first name is Frankie. I cannot remember her last name. This is a very fun pattern. This is the circular 10 stitch pattern. She has a square, a star, a chevron ziggy-zaggy type pattern. Lots of really cool free patterns to do your, scrap busting. I will go ahead and say this, they're not very well written. I did have to go on YouTube and find some tutorials for how to connect the edges together because the directions on how to pick up that last stitch were not very clear in her pattern. It is a free pattern, so I'm not giving away any details, but I'm actually thinking about ripping back this row here, this color, just because I don't like the way that the holes are coming out. It's not a big deal. It's just a scrappy blanket. But I don't know. I kind of wanted it to be uniform and consistent. I may go back and watch those tutorials again. My only advice is to watch the YouTube tutorials if you decide to start something like this, because this beginning section is quite difficult. It did take me several attempts to do this middle section, and once you get it, it's super easy. But it's working on short rows, and it can be hard, especially if you're not familiar with short rows. So I'm gonna keep working on that. I've got, this was considered one skein out. This was, please don't fall out, double pointing needle. This was the balance of yarn on one of my very first stuffy projects, which was Nilla the Unicorn. This came from Sugar Plum Circus. The original colorway name was Polyjuice Potion, but she renamed all her colorways, and I could not find this one on the website. So this was also a Sugar Plum Circus colorway. This was January of 2020, I believe. So that was my first mystery colorway. I've still got a lot of this, but I was really excited to add this beautiful rainbow. This was the St. Patrick's Day colorway from 2022 from Yarnaceous Fibers. I had a pretty big skein of this, and now I'm thinking I might rip this section back and turn this into a ghost, because I think that this would be a really pretty autumnal ghost. So I'm not sure, kind of sitting there. There's the January 2020. I've got the balance of the Valentine's Day ghost going into this. I bought just some random mini DK minis. So there's one that I got from a lady on Ravelry. The balance of Magnolia's Valentine's Day ghost. Let's see, this one was another Sugar Plum Circus mystery skein. I really like this one. I think I'm gonna hold on to this one, and depending on how much yardage is on this, I very well may turn this into a ghost, because I actually have eyes that would go really well with this colorway. It's a beautiful blue, dusty pink, gray, and I think this is a really good color for like January. So hanging on to that. Got the balance of the Capricorn from the astrology wrap. You guys can see. That'll be pretty. And then this one is from an old project. This was Pineapple Yarns Sun Club June 2020, I think. And this went into 2 different hats, and so that was the leftover I have. So I have this is a 31 bag. I don't know the name of this bag, but it's waterproof on the inside, which is why I like it so much. But this is what my remnants and my 10 stitch twists are living in right now. So it's perfect size for that project. So there's one whip. I am using these balls. I am using this project to skein out. And that's what I'm calling, when I finish a skein, it is going in the skein out pile. So we had the Polyjuice Potion skein out, and that was the only one so far. I cut this one early because I wanted to see the rainbow first. So hoping that this project will definitely help with getting some of that yarn moved that I'm not going to use or that's just left over. I'm pretty sure I'm going to use my Pineapple Yarn Advent Calendar from last season. I'm going to hold a double and add it in there at some point, just because I don't think I'm ever going to use that yarn for a project. It wasn't really up my alley. So yeah, that's a good one. But look for more updates on this one. Definitely kind of a sitting mindless knit while the kids are running around. All right, next, campfire cardi, campside cardi, not campfire cardi. So this pattern is by Alicia Plummer, and of course I'm in the middle of a row, so I apologize for that. I just finished chart 2 and started in chart 3. You can see this thing has gotten quite large. I did my first fit check on it, and I'm very, very happy with how it's turning out. This is a very easy pattern. I don't know why I waited as long as I did to try this pattern. I think the charts were daunting to me, when in fact they're just knits and purls and yarn overs and knit 2 together. So it's easy, and I'm like, I wish I had done this sooner. So I'm hoping that I get this finished. The goal on this one is end of April. So I really want to get this one done before summer. So there's the campsite cardi, and that has been Miss Babs Yalza DK on Coral, I believe is the name of that colorway. There's one, and then the Mama Kimono, and then this one, if you remember, is the modification of the baby kimono from Plymouth Yarn. I have made some good progress on this bad boy, and of course I'm in the middle of a row. So I finished my first ball of the Basic Stitch by Lion Brand. Yeah, Lion Brand. And I'm up to, this was 10 inches, so I want to say we're up to 14, between 13 and 14 inches now. And I mean, I was just plugging away on this one weekend, and I did not realize how much I had done. But that one ball is considered a skein out, so far we're up to 2, which I'm really happy about. However, had to pause on this one because all of the yarn that goes with this project is currently packed up. So I'm on pause with this one. I've got about 10 to 11 more inches on the back panel before I can start the front panel, and then I'll be a quarter of the way done with it. So that back panel is big. It's 24 inches. It's pretty monstrous. Again, thank you to Ellie at Curio Stitches for helping me modify that pattern to my size, because it was originally written for babies to small toddlers. And so I love this pattern. It's a squishy pattern. It's a great like grab and go cardigan. So that's why I wanted one for me. So those are my 3 whips. That's all I've got for, no I don't. Oh, wait, I have one more. I'm sorry. This one I just started, which is why I keep forgetting about it. So this is the Twisted Tea Shorts by Bree at Little Wolf Knits on Instagram. This is all I've gotten so far. I've got about 16 rows in the first section, and then I've got to start the body shaping. So this is going to be in the Pecan colorway by the Twisted Knitter. One of my favorite local yarn shops. I can't talk this morning now. And then Mint Chocolate Chip by Rainbow and Sprinkles will be the body. So I'm pretty excited about these. I had to reach out to the designer. She's super nice for some pattern support and picking what size I needed, because I'm a weird shape from having babies. So those are the 3 whips. Short states update. I have not worked on the states because that project got packed with the move. So I had started Indiana and it never got finished. It's a project that I am working on still. It is just on hiatus right now. I will pick it back up in April. I did receive 3 new states over the past month or so. I'm sorry if any of these are repeats. And sorry for crinkles. So this one, this lovely package of yarn was sent to me by Very Warm Stripes, who is Wendy. And she is my Massachusetts. So I have got a vast color assortment here to pick from. And more than likely, I'm probably going to use this. Sorry, I'm probably going to use this neon yellow as Massachusetts, just because any kind of tonal is really popping in that blanket. And I'm really loving how the tonals are looking against all of the speckles and all of the stripes. So I think that may be the one that I use for Massachusetts. And then Miss Amber over at A&B Marine Knits, who we have developed a very strange friendship out of nowhere. She sent me Maine. And this is Spunky Eclectic. This is on their glimmer base, and this is called Ballroom Dancing. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this, I think we're gonna get some striping on this square, but I'm pretty excited to see that one. So there's Maine. And then I ordered yarn from Gem States Yarn, which is Idaho. And she sells mini, micros, and then full skeins of just about every single one of her colorways. This is Cactus Flower. I have not decided if I'm gonna do, let's see the pink speckles in there, is it pretty? All three of hers or just one? I think I'm gonna do all three because they're really pretty. This is Sky Blue. This is a super light blue, again with the tonals, that's why I picked that one. And then this one is Waiting Flamingo, and I am sorry, Moxie has decided that she does not like our neighbor's dog. She can go with that. I'm sorry, the sun's in my face. So this one's Waiting Flamingo. And she's having a fit now. So, greens, blues, super pretty. So that was Idaho. So that took care of Maine, Massachusetts, and Idaho. 3 more states. I do not know how many states we're missing at this point. I'm kind of, like I said, it's kind of on hiatus at this point. Moxie, it's okay. Thank you for stranger danger, but it's okay. She just looked at me trying to reassure me. So that takes us up to the states. Let's see. So far, before I do enhancements, let's do scans in, scans out. Scans in, we'll get to in just a second. Scans out, I had 2 and 2 more was 4 total. So it's pretty good for scans out for 1 month. Finishing projects, using up scraps, moving in what I can. Gifted or sold, well over 30. So I did put up a D-stash on my page and sold some yarn, and then I ended up actually sending extra yarn to that person. I got rid of all of my fingering stroll from Knit Picks, all of my Wool of the Andes worsted from Knit Picks as well. She bought several skeins of just stuff I wasn't gonna use, so I was kind of like, here, take it, you know, use it for something, whatever you want to do. And she did, and she was super appreciative. I've sent a couple of things to people who have sent me states, so it's kind of doing a paying it forward thing. I'm not asking for compensation or money for the ones that I'm sending to those people. I sent a couple to Ellie over in the UK, which was kind of fun. I love tracking that yarn to see where it goes across the pond. And she just as a pick me up for her, because she's been so good to me, and so I wanted to pay it forward for her. I did have a giveaway over on Instagram, so that got rid of another skein. So I'm feeling pretty good so far with this skein in, skein out. So enhancements. So I feel like I went a little crazy in March. I had some projects in mind that I wanted to go ahead and get yarn for, so I'll talk about those right now. Pi Day was on 3/14, and there were several indie dyers that got together and decided to do different flavors of pie for Pi Day, and these colorways were only released for 3/14. And so I looked specifically, Phoenix, I actually recruited her to help me with this project. And so she and I were following the hashtag Pi Day Potluck was the hashtag. And you can still see it, it's really cool. So we were looking specifically for Thanksgiving pie, because I really wanted, you know, sweet potato pie or pumpkin pie or something that screamed Thanksgiving, fall, autumn. And so I've been following Witchfire Fibers for a while, and she did Biscoff pie, which is, I believe, a kind of cookie. And so I really liked the colors when she previewed this. And there were several other dyers out there who had gorgeous colors, but this one just I kept coming back to it. So what I'm gonna do is, you can see this is the double sock set. This little guy is going to be our crust. He's gonna go at the tail and the booty of the ghost at the very bottom. This main skein is going to be, I'm gonna hold double, and this will be the body and the head. And then probably the next 1.5 inches to the very tip will be this beautiful cream. So what I'm hoping it will look like is crust, pie, whipped cream. And I thought that was super cute. And Danielle over at Suncatcher's Craft Eyes did send me a couple of different options for eyes for this guy. So we're gonna try and figure out what goes with that. So that was one. Already has a project in mind. And then I was talking to Miss Lisa over at Cozy Cauldron Fiber Co. And this is my first purchase from her. This is her colorway called April Showers on her squishy sparkle base, which I'm hoping you can see some of that sparkle. You can get a little bit of it. This is going to be my Goth Pride Day camisole. I'm going to do the Ripple Crop Top by Jessie Made Designs in this, and I'm going to hopefully finish this by June so I can wear it for Pride Month. But this is exactly what I wanted. I wanted a grungy alternative to Pride Rainbows. So this is perfect. And when I saw this, I messaged Lisa and I was like, please tell me you're still taking pre-orders for this, because I absolutely love it and this is what I want to do with it. And she was super nice and so helpful. And if you're not following Cozy Cauldron Fiber Co., please go do so. Lisa's one of my new favorite people to talk to on the internet now. I love seeing what she's coming out with. She's got a mind like none other. It's crazy. Love her to death. So thank you, Lisa. I'm really going to enjoy skating these up as soon as I find my Swift and ball binder over at the new house. So that's going to happen probably next month or May. And then the last two, you know, I got to support my girl Teresa. Teresa has gone through a lot of really hard times in her life the past few months. She lost her grandmother, who was their Mimi, and so she did a tribute dye to her Mimi, and she did 3 different colorways. One was a tonal green, one was a tonal pink, and then there's Mimi's Memories. And so I got these. It is not my usual dark, moody palette, but what I'm going to do with these guys is I'm going to turn them into a t-shirt. I'm not sure yet which one. I've actually been in the hunt for looking for a t-shirt for these, and then I'm gonna make a small black shrug to go over top of them to kind of keep it in my aesthetic. But I love these and I love what they represent, and I love it when dyers have stories behind the yarn and the colors that they pick. So this one, it means a lot to Teresa, and now it means a lot to me. So that will probably be coming this summer. I'm not 100% sure yet. So that was, are we considering this one 2 in or just 1? If it's just 1, then we have 5 in. So 30 out, 5 in. Doesn't sound too bad to me. So I'm really happy with consumption right now, I guess, and purchasing. I have been keeping it under wraps. But that is all. I'm looking now at my floor and my podcast bag, and I think that's where we are for March. April, dreaming ahead. I'm trying to keep it low-key. We've got the whips. I'd like to get the cardi done. I'd like to get the shorts done. Both of those are on my Make 9. I think I'm going to have to pivot and change my V-back tee with the remnants of the twisted tee shorts. I think I'm going to have to change that into a different type of top, because I'm not 100% sure that I'm going to have enough of the contrast color to do the 2-inch ribbing on the collar, the sleeves, and the ribbing at the bottom, the hem. So I'm just going to have to wait and see on that one. But I am still hoping to get my Make 9 done. It's hard when you have so many amazing patterns coming out and so many designers who are just working their magic. And then I have things going on in my own little brain that I need to reach out to my designer friends to see if they can help manifest those ideas into an actual garment. So I'm looking forward to that too. But witchy stuff, we did not celebrate Ostara. It came and went before I even realized what day it was. I feel bad about that, but it's okay because we do celebrate Easter in our house. We do not celebrate the Christian meaning behind Easter. I kind of pivot Ostara into Easter since it was ultimately adopted that way. We are doing an Easter egg hunt. I do Easter baskets for the boys. I do Easter baskets for me and the handsome devil. So I've gotten those together. I got those together early this year just because I knew that time was going to be valuable at this late in the game. So we've already got their stuff together, already got our stuff together. We're going to do an Easter egg hunt for them this year at my folks' house. So I'm looking forward to that. I've been stuffing eggs on my lunch breaks when I'm not working on renovations with the house. So that's been fun. But otherwise, witchy stuff, I still am in the process of reviewing and Lord, I haven't had enough coffee this morning. What's the word I'm looking for? Anyways, looking up, researching, there we go. Researching new home enhancements and jar spells to bury, or possibly having someone do a gree for us to bury at the front door. So I'm looking into that, but not a lot of witchy going on. Which is fine. You don't have to be completely immersed in your practice in order to be practicing. That's the great thing about paganism. You do you when you want to. I do have one really good friend on Instagram, Morgana. Her name is Heather. She is also a witchy friend of mine, and she has a really good knack of posting and finding those simple rituals, simple ideas for these holidays and the Sabbats, and how to honor them on a smaller level rather than doing a whole big blown ritual, which we don't like doing anyways. So at some point I might throw some of those ideas out here. Well, we have a lot going on, so it's been a month, to say the least. Mama stuff, just dealing with the boys, just dealing with my little goblins. Every day is an adventure. We're getting past some sickness. Unfortunately, we had my handsome devil had a cardiac event on the weekend of St. Patrick's Day, so he ended up in the emergency room, and now we're dealing with that. So it's just kind of rolling with the punches at this point and trying to tackle things as they show up and as we adjust. So it does throw a wrench in the plans, but we were adjusting to it. So that's what's going on. Work is good. Mental health has been okay. It's not been fantastic. Dealing with the depression and anxiety of the move, of finding new daycare, of getting people to help us. Financial stress of moving is not fun. There's a lot of moving parts that a lot of people don't talk about when it comes to moving, and things you don't think of that you're going to have to fix, clean. If you don't have time to fix, clean, you're gonna have to hire somebody to fix, clean. So it's a lot. We are going to meet the new daycare teachers on Friday, so I'm excited about that, to get them registered and set up at their new daycare. I'm hoping that this is a fairly easy transition for Mr. Atticus. He's been at the daycare he's at now for the better part of 4 years. So they know him and they know how to handle his big feelings, as we like to call them. So I'm not sure what to expect. I'm nervous. But yeah, so there it is. Don't want to leave you guys on a bad note. So I'm happy the return of the sun. I'm one of those weird alternative moms where I don't classify myself as goth. I used to, I don't anymore. I do wear black. Today I'm wearing light blue. But I'm one of those goths that if you catch me at the right time, I'm probably out in the yard, probably enjoying the sunshine. I am a goth with a tan, so I'm an alternative mom with a tan at some point. I do like the sun. I like the vitamin D. I like the way it makes me feel. It helps my depression drastically. So I don't mind it. Not quite a vampire. I will be out there in a giant brimmed hat though. I don't like it on my face or in my eyes. So We're still a little family of vampires. Even the kids don't like direct sunlight. So there you have it for the month of March. I'll be back in a couple days to do a super awesome review of Crafted by the Fates, who is Miss Phoenix. She has a new colorway collection coming out based off of Courage the Cowardly Dog. I'm super excited to review this with you guys and to bring some awareness to her brand. So I'll see you then. Have a great day. Bye.